In postmodern literature, language is eclectic, deracinated from rules and culture. There is Infinite Jest, which totals 1,079 pages, and Gravity's Rainbow, totaling 760 pages. Both read like reading War and Peace, but for a hippie generation. There is one book that has been forgotten in the early 80s, and that is The Book of the New Sun. Gene Wolfe is known as a science fiction writer, and his work has been classified in the tradition of Robert E. Howard, Lynn Carter, Jack Vance, and James Joyce. Ursula K. Le Guin has called Wolfe R. Herman Melville, and The New Yorker had a 2015 article titled Sci-Fi's Difficult Genius. If he is so great, why isn't he being talked about in the mainstream? It's a lot like William S. Burroughs, where certainly he gets a lot of clout and praise, but when read further, he writes about depraved child pornography. Queer culture aside, the elite establishment chooses their idols, and meanwhile, there's always a golden writer of historical significance around the corner. Perhaps Wolfe's Book of the New Sun is famous for criticizing postmodern disciplines like deconstruction, because he wants you to deconstruct the book. There is just more layers of Hemingway's icebergs to discover. Wolfe gives the reader the power to be his own intellect, or a viewer of a fine art piece. That creativity and ecstasy is experienced by reading his work. The Book of the New Sun is a memoir by Severian the Great, which he accounts an inescapable world which he is stuck in. The work is written in vermilion ink, and only Gene Wolfe has access to translate an alien language far in the future. The text reads like a Baroque fantasy, a futuristic Beowulf or Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. But until further examination, the reader realizes Severian is an unreliable narrator, and that the text reveals more to his world than what he presents. You can read the entire book thinking it's a Baroque fantasy from the medieval age, but it turns out that, with the reader trying to deconstruct the text, that's actually Earth, or Earth, a million years in the future where the sun is dying. The Book of the New Sun is a prophetic text about a coming of the new sun, or that Severian himself is the new sun. Pun intended, and also related to the physical object of the book itself. The narrative gets confusing after the reader starts to realize that the Kakujin people are aliens, and that humanity has discovered time traveling, and as well mastered the art of it. And throughout the story, time paradoxes often happen, and everything which is happening now is a result of some individual traveling through time. You see, there is also a war between the alien elite and humanity, which can be very confusing and requires a deep understanding about Western philosophy and religion. Jewish Kabbalism is real, and the dimension that exists above us is Yasad, and we exist in Bria, which is all a part of the Tree of Life. This leads to the big conclusion that Jesus Christ is actually a time-traveling alien, namely Severian, that has created Christianity by accident, which is explained in Earth of the New Sun. Wolfe suggests that aliens have created our modern religions, though through time traveling and the use of extraterrestrial powers. Now, there's a lot to explain about this, and at this point, it sounds kooky. The work of Eric von Daniken tries to explain this phenomenon as ancient astronaut theory, and that life, what we know, was created by aliens, and our struggle in life is against an alien elite. Exactly what Alex Jones tried to explain on the Joe Rogan show in early 2017. You see, the alien elite want an endless winter, or Ragnarok, for Earth, while we as humanity want another chance, that is Ushas, where the Earth will become green again. Life is a battle between those who want to advance human civilization to the next level, and those other humans and aliens that want us to live fast, die young, and enjoy our hedonistic lives and enjoy the moment. The same could be said about the culture wars between the left and the right. Wolfe explains that human conflict is spiritual, but also as real as the science we explain in life. The Book of the New Sun is divided into 4 parts, but as well as a sequel, a spin-off series, and an aftermath series, which makes all 12 books a part of the Earth cycle. The most important book to read is Shadow of the Torturer, followed by the next 3 books. It is a long read, but will reward the reader with an infinite amount of replayability. The book does not end when you finish the last page, and it is up to the reader to put the puzzle together. Readers also need a dictionary companion titled Lexicon Earthus. The Book of the New Sun is filled with outdated, obsolete, and obscure words found in Latin and other languages. The reason why Wolfe did this was to provide a translation that is based in suggestive roots than definitive ones. What is actually considered a flyer, for example, could be as terrifying as an H.R. Giger corpse machine of some sorts. It gets really confusing, and this dictionary is needed. There is also the GURPS supplement of The New Sun, which writes out the entire narrative and world for beginners. Although the book was made for role-playing games, it still provides missing information you might have missed as a reader. Also, Wolfe's own The Castle of the Otter explains how Wolfe wrote the Book of the New Sun. But hardcore readers know that the Book of the New Sun is an English translation of an actual alien prophecy, not Wolfe's own imagination. So why read this book? What makes it so postmodern? Like Don DeLillo's White Noise, DeLillo strikes back at the academic elite for being afraid of Nazism and pursuing a social justice Big Brother campaign. Wolfe, however, strikes against fringe concepts like transhumanism, accelerationism, and arrogant deconstruction. The viewer, observer, or player becomes more powerful than the artist who wrote the book, and different visions and realities can be created through Severian's text. And why hasn't it received such fame then? Well, William Gibson's Neuromancer came out in 1984 and might have stole some fame which Wolfe was getting during that time. And both the Boomer and Gen X generation fell for a cyberpunk reality than a post-history one created by Wolfe. Wolfe's book has aged like old wine, and now there is a reactionary and anti-liberal audience that finds his work appealing. Yes, the Book of the New Sun is a classic adventure epic, but it also has influenced the lore of Warhammer 40k and Final Fantasy's Yoshitaka Amano. It is not widely read because of its language and its complex philosophy about life. That is, accelerationism will lead us into a cold future where we will sell our humanity to robots and aliens, and eventually, humanity will cook itself out of our own destiny in favor of the hedonistic life. Instead of thinking about the social problems happening now between the left and right, think about the political issues which will be happening on planet Earth when the sun is dying, and when we forget everything we knew about our society because of a downfall. Will we become a futuristic anime Eurasian people and forget how we became them? Tradition in history is meaningful, but so is technology. What if religion was made up by aliens? Or that God is an alien? And what if time traveling is real and the elite always have been watching over us?